All right, let's try this again. Oh, that's much better. I could hear myself like 2 seconds after, yeah, and it just fucks with my head too bad. I don't like the sound of my own voice, and um, it just fucks with me. But at least the voices in my head still sound like me. I guess that's a plus. All right, JT, you're probably still talking on the other one that's not there anymore, but you can come back up here. Oh, what's going on, Hunter's Pappy? We'll give it a minute for people to come back in. They probably didn't get the notification because my notifications haven't been going out. Welcome to the world of being shadow banned. We're having a nice chill, no bullshit stream, and then fucking LB had to start her shit. So hopefully she comes back so I can ban her. Gee, cheat redhead don't have any fucking sensibilities, man. Get over it. You broke your hip today, and Hunter. Hey, Hunter's got the good shit. What's going on, Tilly? Is Sam still here? I don't know. We'll give it a minute for people to come in here. If my notifications even went out, but I don't know. We'll see. What's going on, Jilly? What's going on, Charlie Brown? Yeah, come on back up here, JT. Anybody else can come up here also. I forgot to pin the comment, so I'll throw it out. Throw out the link again. Anybody can jump up here. Actually, I'd like to get LB up here because trying to argue with somebody from the chat is a pain in the fucking ass. Come up here and let's argue about it, LB, because trying to argue with somebody from the chat just it's a pain in the ass. When you're doing a CC tell all, there's not going to be a CC tell all. We are not going to drag her. That when Tommy said that, that was a fucking another one of his lies. We are not going to drag CC. If that was the case, we could have done it already. It's official. Locke is officially gay. Well, it's nothing new, LB. It's the same old shit that they dragged you before with. Like, I don't have any secret fucking VHS tapes here, nothing like that. That's not what I meant. Hit a hot reel for you. I wish I had some, man. If I had any, I would. You're not in the basement, JT. Let me look. Nope, you're not in the basement, dude. Try it again. Hopefully, you're not trying to join the old stream. I mean, you can do unspeakable things up here in front of everybody. Yeah, Rod Plum, that's right. The Bud Light will do that to you. Okay, well, hey, if you don't want to be subbed here, hold on. Hold still. I can make it real easy for you. Goodbye.
Don't ever leave me that way again, Bill.
I'm sorry. There is an extra handcuff key hidden under the mat, so I mean, just in case.
Thank you, everybody, for begging me to come back up. Because I still haven't even helicoptered. Not even once yet. And you know Sam wants to see it. Although he had his chance.
Sam's got the real secret intel. If I were you, I wouldn't piss Sam off, man.
Yeah, there's a bit of mafia there.
Yeah, I mean, if LB didn't want to be subbed, why the fuck was she here? But I made it easy for her. She gone.
Okay, that opens it up. You're still talking about her, and like I say, I've never seen a thing in all this because I had the wisdom to ban her weeks and months ago, a while back. So, could you please just summarize quickly what in the hell was she trying to get across here?
I don't really know. We used to be cool. I was a managing mod on her channel, and then all of a sudden one day she's just turned into a bitch toward me. I don't know what I did.
I didn't ask that, but what was she doing tonight?
Oh, she was just being a bitch and
Oh,
ruining our good time.
really?
So yeah, she gone. If she don't want to come up here and talk about it
Ban the banner.
like real people, then I don't need her.
Sam, are you serious? Like, you think banning is awful and blocking people is awful? Because I am 100%. It took forever for me. I used to think the same thing of like, oh, it's cowardly to block these people. And then I'm like, no, it isn't. There's a reason for that button. And when somebody just keeps on, same thing like Gremlin, for instance, like harmless in a sense, but non-stop with his homosexual attacks on me, as in like, let's do this, I mean, like pretending to be gay, but like 80 times a chat, and I would hate it, as in like I don't want to, what I mean. Some people hate my guts, so you don't want to be like exposed over and over and over with all this noise, and so I just blocked it. You know what I mean? So then he stopped. I don't know. I think he stopped doing it to some degree. Anyway, I can't tell what Sam. Perhaps he's being sarcastic when he says "ban the ban." I mean, Caps, Creeps, Bobby, LB, the whole crew have banned half the community because we just yes. Now that's something. That is true.
That's the thing. If you don't go along 100% with their bullshit, they just ban you. I mean, they've all. I don't know if I'm banned, but like I've tried to. Uh, fucking Creeps had a few people in his chat defending me, and he fucking banned all of them.
I don't know what.
So it makes their chat look like everybody's going along with their bullshit because they don't allow opposing opinions in there.
And Jilly with the Ray is gay thing too. It's like people get stuck on the simplest little things that really are. Well, Ray's not gay, but anyway, because now what I'd say would make it sound like I'm hiding it from him, but it's like, what if he is? I mean, pick, 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 pick. It's this community is just. I'm not kidding. Hey, Bill, what about Andrea D? Isn't there some horrible thing we can say about her?
I can talk about horrible things I'd like to do to her, but I don't have any dirt.
Yeah, I know somebody was attacking her in some type. I've been busy lately, so I don't know, but somebody was attacking her. So
It's
therefore,
because FM thinks that she's somebody else, and she's not. I've talked to this woman. I've heard her voice, and we had a very deeply sexual conversations. So I know that she is a woman. At least I hope, and she's not who Creep says she is.
just to be on the safe side, I think she should be killed.
Oh, as long as I can do it like with rough sex, then I could probably come to terms with it. But otherwise, no.
Yeah, had to go and say that. It's weird how like have her killed is a joke, but then when you say that, that's not a joke. You bastards, you perverted bastards.
Sometimes I don't realize I'm talking out loud.
Didn't like hearing that. What do you mean, Dominique? The thing about rough sex or whatever? Like I haven't had some decades ago. Actually, I hate sex accoutrement, like any kind of special sex clothing and stuff like that. It's a you know turns me right off. I hate that shit so much. And when they get out of the handcuffs, it's all over. You know. How could the fucking Nuggets have won already? And it's only 9 o'clock. Or did they start ridiculously early to have a good broadcast time on the East Coast? I
I
suppose.
have no idea. I don't watch sports.
Sports
I don't
broad.
even know who the Nuggets are, man. I don't even know who won the Splendid Bowl this year.
The Splenda.
Splendid Bowl. Isn't that what it's called?
I don't know what it is, but I don't want to know either. Oh no, Ryan, the detective, the genius detective, is yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to pull up like my old DMs with Ryan. Like he was always asking me about stuff that was none of his goddamn business. Um, and then he'd get mad because I wouldn't tell him things about people's personal shit. And he's like, "Well, I'm investigating." And like with Mr. Peanut Butter, he wanted to know stuff that I mean, the deal was that I wouldn't talk about it if he just left, and he left. So I'm keeping up my end of the deal. And Ryan was like, "Oh, I know his real name. It's blah blah blah," and he was totally wrong. And it was just the way he presented it to me was like he had written a book report. It was I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah, it's weird because like people watch all this shit and there's a huge amount of people that none of us even know that support. That's how numbers happen, even though they're very
Mm-hmm.
small everywhere. But they don't ever say anything. They don't do anything. But and they also don't come that often. Perhaps you know what I mean. Like they catch one every 2 weeks, a panel or something. That what was my whole point? Oh, that might think Ryan. I mean, they don't understand the sensibility of like after you've been here for a long time. That how Ryan is a total liar. You know what I mean? He used to be just muddled and weird, but now he does things. He does whole things based on well, that's what I heard, and it's like. I know where you heard that, and that was incorrect and had been corrected, but you ran with it anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man, Dominique. I mean, you could educate me. I'll listen.
Dominique is probably downtown walking the streets with all the crowds down there right now in her halter.
oh, oh man.
It was funny the other night at a concert where we were looking at my brother was there, and he's the one that gets all these tickets to these weird things. But this woman came out like of a side door, and I was like, "Look at the gazongas on that one." I mean, it was like for me to notice, like all the way across the arena and down. I was like, "What in the hell?" And he was like,
Oh
thrilled,
yeah.
like, "You noticed that?" I'm like, "You saw it the minute she came out too, didn't you?"
Yeah, I got some kind of like booby radar, man. When big ones enter the room, it's I don't even have to like actually see it, but I know they're there. It's like the pressure in the room changes, like the air pressure or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, well, for it's got to be spectacular for me to even think about it or notice it at all. And these were like, I mean, we were so far away. It's like, what in the fuck are those? I've never really paid attention to between fake and real boobs. So
Hmm.
now that I think about it, I'm gonna guess those had to be fake. Those were they weren't quite basketball sized, but they're
Yeah.
so round and big. Like that can't be right.
Yeah, fake ones got to be they got to be done just right. Like I don't if they look fake, that's not my thing. I would take a smaller natural pair over a bigger fake pair.
Well, I probably shouldn't say it, but now I'm having another cocktail, so I'm gonna tell you it was Dominique.
Oh man, I need to step up my game with her then.
And it's no surprise she was coming out of a backstage door. She knows her
Oh,
the backstage. Always the drummer first. Always the drummer first.
yeah, it's always the drummer first.
Let's see if we can't put her in a rage.
She got a pretty good sense of humor.
Ryan could beat up Sam. No,
Right? Well, I don't know about that. Sam's been training for his boxing match with Tommy, so I don't know about that.
I don't think I would totally bet on Sam.
Yeah, I would too.
And then Sam would cry because did I hurt him? Did I hurt him? But yeah, he would have hurt him. What did Sam abandon us in our hour of? Why is he? He just doesn't do this shit anymore. I guess. Huh?
I can't say anything bad about Sam. It's in our contract. If I say anything bad about him, then I don't get paid. So
Well, do you know that he gets up in the middle of the night and just urinates on the carpet in his room? He's like,
say that again.
it's rented. It's rented.
Dominique, you know I used to play in bands, right? Just saying.
Mm.
I tell you what, though, really, if you play in a band, it don't matter if you suck, man. You get women just freaking flock to you. I don't know why. I mean, you could be like look at Getty Lee. He's uglier and shit, right? But he gets tons of women. So all you got to do is just like be in a band. I mean, they're an awesome, they're an excellent band. But I'm just saying, even if your band sucks, they still freaking flock around you.
That is exactly true because not Seal was the last one, and then right before, 2 days before that was Tommy James and the Shondells of all the weird things. And but they
I've
did
never heard of it.
big band in the '60s. They had like 5 or 6 big meaty hits, but they're nowhere. You know what I mean? They're just nostalgia now. And he apparently it's a trend with these oldies shows. They come out into the audience these days because it I don't know. It's just good for their show, and they're not like young and sexy, so people won't hop on them anymore. But these old women, like pushing 70 or more, were just about ready to come, baby, baby, come. I don't want to get you in trouble here, but they were like reaching out to him like he was fucking Jesus, and I was like sitting there appalled, like my God,
Yeah.
he hasn't he has done any new music that anyone cares about since 1972. You're like, what the hell?
Oh, nerdy parent says, "How many times did I call you today, Bill?" One, two, three, four, zero.
Well, that's because he couldn't get through because you're always on the phone with Hilton.
Well, yeah, that is true. Um, yeah, if nerdy parent did try to call me today, he wouldn't have gotten through because yeah, I was on the phone with Michael all fucking day.
Somebody who picked a very bad name to pronounce. Beetlejuice says the real Crimson and Clover singers is Tommy James. That's true. And their other big giant hit was Moni Moni, which Billy Idol covered into a huge hit much, much later. They had other things too. Crystal Blues, Persuasion, Dragging the
Hey,
Line.
what's up, Rockstar? How you doing, man? Rockstar Runes Preds knows what I'm talking about, I'm sure.
Apparently have them. Oh, no, there they are. What's the bill? Uh, Civil retracted their message. I wonder what filth that was. Dirty, nasty filth. Love Crimson and Clover. It really was. I was like not very enthusiastic about it. This is my brother's thing with these old bands. But the thing about these old bands is like goes without a hitch. You know what I mean? They've been performing for 55 years. So they know how to keep a show going.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, and I don't know about that band, but I was never really into them. But like, like David Coverdale, or is it Jimmy Page, whichever one was the singer. That dude should. Some of these guys should just give it up, man, because he's in his like 70s or 80s, and he's up there trying to move his old broken down hips around like he did when he was 25.
You mean Jimmy Page
And
wasn't much of a singer? You mean Robert Plant?
Robert Plant. Yes, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Um, like they're still trying to act all like sexy and hot and shit like they did when they were in their 20s, and most of these guys really can't sing anymore. It I realize they probably just need the money, but it's just disappointing, to see
Yeah,
what they've evolved into.
he was weird with all of that hair, that curly, long hair, and his shirts like all the way down, like tied at the bottom, and trying to
He
be.
still dress he still dresses like that,
Yeah,
and he's probably in his 80s, but and he's obviously wearing a wig now to try to look like he did,
but I never thought of him as sexy. But they definitely he marketed himself that way, with always like the shirt, open and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, you're a freak. Hey, I mean, he sang some really hard, difficult, interesting songs, but yeah, there was one big hit, one of their last real Led Zeppelin album, "In Through the Outdoor." Damn it, I just heard it on the radio today, and love that I found. I forget what that was called, but God, he's so off key, and this made it into the record and was a hit. It was like, can't anybody hear that he's way off key? It was awful.
yeah, sometimes they should just, you
Fool
know.
in the Rain.
But most of these guys got fucked by their record labels and their managers when they were younger. Like all those millions they made, like most of the rock stars themselves didn't get jack shit, so they're probably all broke now.
That story always just kills me. Like when you hear like so and so filing for bankruptcy, and it's like, man, you sold like 40 million records. How the fuck could you not have managed money? Now, I know they get ripped off and everything too, but they're still getting money,
Hmm.
and it's like, how could you had to buy this outrageous mansion, and then you couldn't pay?
Oh,
Like,
and
why?
then of course there's the cocaine. That shit ain't cheap either.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, Julie Fisher reminds me. This is the song I was talking about. Was "Fool in the Rain." Uh, the fool waiting on the wrong block. It was like that. Like like how could would nobody have the balls to tell big Led Zeppelin like that sucks? Like uh, that needs to be resung about 8,000 times till it's right. Horrible. Mhm. Well, you got to lift some of the work, God damn it.
What roll?
I
Man,
guess
I don't want a big fire because I don't feel like being out here all night.
this
Oh
is.
well.
Oh, but there's only 26 people watching. Oh, that's not worth it. I need more. More.
Well,
So,
there's at least three of us that are live, so we're all split up.
so yeah, everybody abandoned us. Even Sam, it looks like. Well, we got Jenny T, but she's just a punching bag. We always have her, for a go-to.
Well, that's okay because all the cute girls are over here.
Oh, you went up to 29. Then you went right back down to 27. You're
I
not going to
can't right
fight.
now. I'm setting shit on fire. I don't really pay attention to that anyway.
Maybe if Jenny T flashes her gazangas, you'll get over the 30 mark.
Oh, I'd pay attention to that.
Yeah, well, she should
Yeah, let's.
give us 10 minutes notice, like gazangas, 10, 9:32, whatever it is your time. Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Hold on.
She
There
won't.
we go. If anybody wants to come up here and show their boobs, there's the link.
She
Or
won't.
you can come up here for any other reason.
She doesn't have the team spirit. I think she's.
Well, with the lights out, it's less dangerous.
Oh, here we are now. Perhaps we should be entertained. All of us.
How low?
Words are what I do best, and for this gift, I feel blessed. Mhm. All these kids don't even know what smells like spirit means. Do you know?
Right.
Do you know though?
Of course, I'm a '90s kid.
I never saw that product before.
Yeah, I remember it.
Was it a
For
girl's?
those of you, for yeah, it was a girls' thing. Yeah,
So tell them what it is.
it's a brand of deodorant.
And Kurt Cobain, when they were nobody yet, he's all notebooks full of songs and all that, and he wrote Jenny or something like Jenny smells like Teen Spirit, and then later they use it.
Yeah, that song was written about girls' deodorant.
The song was written about you.
What happened to Patrick Ward?
Well, I went to solo layout because I don't know Patrick Ward. What's going on, man? Hello. We might have been under helicopter attack.
Yeah, it's a big black screen. You're really getting better at hosting. Yeah, no,
Yeah, right.
Locksmith Live is very educational.
Epilepsy warning. If you have epilepsy, you might want to turn your head.
Can't anybody come up here? Anybody at all? We're melting. We're dying. Ugh. I should probably
Yeah,
go.
we lost Patrick.
I should just
I'll
start.
probably hang this up pretty soon. Oh, Ghost Malone, if you're still in here, I saw your message. I will answer you immediately after this.
Wonder what's happening on Chatterbait right now.
What the hell is Chatterbait?
Where you watch people masturbate.
Oh, do they have girls?
Yep. And it's all free. I mean, you could join different levels. Like you have to, you have to just do like an email thing to be able to type, and that's free. But then beyond that, you have to pay for different shit.
Yeah, the good shit ain't free.
Unfortunately, it's infested with Europeans and their horribly uncut dicks.
He was in a psych ward, and it's a nut-free facility. Oh, how ironic.
Mm. We don't say nut around here. It's weird you brought up Mr. Peanut Butter. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, I just use him as an example because that story's already known. There were other people too that was the same thing. I'm like, hey, dude, just get the fuck out. I try to do it without all the attention because it works that way best. Uh, and that was supposed to be handled privately too, but Alex blew that out of the water. So yeah,
When you know who Mr. Peanut Butter is, that's when you know you've been doing this too long, and
yeah,
you're ruining your life by breathing. I'm doing much less, certainly less on going on panels and less on even like watching them, And it's better.
yeah,
The more you do, the better. Like I'm losing weight, I'm walking around, I'm doing stuff, but yeah, this place, the whole thing is just rotten through and through, like a gangrenous leg in a nursing home. Blech. Mm, 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 mm.
So what did the two tampons say to each other? Nothing. They're both stuck up bitches.
Mm. Why do I keep not charging this? Why? Satan, that's why.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do this. There we go. There's your beautiful face.
There's trust number one. Uh, is there anything we could destroy their life with?
Oh, I got so much stuff on Trust No One. It's you guys would flip your lids if you knew what I had about her.
Slut, eh?
No, more towards the serial killer side.
Oh. She's the one. She had that big weird thing with Paul McCartney, that incident at Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's her. I didn't know that they made inner tubes that big, to be honest with you, but hey.
And look at her trying to pretend like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. But she's secretly fuming and seething and not coping. Non compos mentis. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if there's anybody in the chat that I don't have dirt on. That
Do you think if
um
back in time and had the chance that I would suck off Joan Wilkes Booth?
say that again?
Do you think if I could go back in time and I had the chance that I would suck off John Wilkes Booth?
Oh yeah. I think you'd do it now.
Well, the thing, I mean, like after the theater, he lived for 13 days on the run, terribly injured, and he couldn't walk because of his, he broke his leg coming down off that balcony. So I think, and he was hiding out in little meadows by streams in Maryland. So he wouldn't really be able to fend me off. Sybil, it's 25 pounds. I went to a doctor again today and got decently weighed. I've lost 25 pounds since
Yeah,
Florida.
that's awesome, dude. Crack will do that, man. Crack is like the best diet.
I know this. I mean, like if I could
The
have a week or two of that right now, oh my God, I would lose another 20 pounds immediately. And then, to be on the safe, then they stop, let me have it. But 2 weeks of crack.
have you have you have you tried the new diet crack? All the buzz and half the calories, man. It ain't bad.
Where does it go anyway? Crack. I mean, it was such a thing. It was everywhere when I was hustling and everything. I'm like, crack, crack, crack. And, you tricks pick you up because they've been smoking to crack. And they want to bring you home to be with them and smoke more crack, but they got to smoke it with you. So you'd be smoking it all the time. It was, it's a very good idea for like a 60-year-old man with a, well, I could have been 24, 26, 27, it went on for years. But it's a very good idea to get your prostitute all cracked out because they will work harder. It's proven.
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah, I don't really think crack went anywhere. It was just like highly publicized to make the government look like they were trying to do something about it, even though they were the ones importing it.
Yeah, that's been proven. Like the CIA even invented the whole method of making it.
Oh yeah, that whole Barry Seal thing and all that. Yeah, there's a lot of it.
I used to make it, not like in an industrial. Well, everyone made it. I mean, like if you got enough coke, you could make it. You would make it.
It's just baking soda and cocaine, right?
Yeah, but I did it particularly well. I remember people saying we called it free basing. Of course, we did it back in the day. Not crack. Crack is whack. Yes, remember when Nancy Reagan informed the nation that crack is whack, along with Mr. T.
Mm-hmm.
With Mr. T. And they spent millions on that commercial going everywhere. It's like,
Oh God, that whole Dare program was fucked up because they would lead you to believe that smoking pot is just as bad as doing heroin.
do you
I
think
mean,
one kid that's coming up on he's 17 or 18, and like he's coming up on the period where he's going to be out and about, you could run into the crack. Uh, do you think that he would tell himself like, well, if Nancy Reagan doesn't like it, I'm not going to do it. Jesus Christ. That's more like an advertisement to do it. Nancy Reagan. I once
we call it.
eviscerated a guy that I didn't like in jail. I eviscerated him by, he wasn't even hacking at me at the minute. But then I went, like I slammed my hand on the table with like 5 or 6 guys, and he was at another table. And I went, I got it. I finally got it. You look like Nancy Reagan. And he was livid. And the thing is, of course,
When Nancy Reagan was known around Hollywood for her, how can I say this? Her dick sucking abilities, to
right?
put it mildly. That was her reputation.
Well, that's how she landed Ronnie, I guess.
Yeah, that shit. Well, fuck, man. If you got a girl that's really good at that, that freaking. Oh yeah. So like sometimes she can be like a total bitch, but as long as she's good at that, hey, I'll make the sacrifice
That's
for a
what
while anyway.
I feel sorry for you straight guys, and I feel like people should donate to you all because I feel like you guys don't have any idea what a good blowjob is like. Men, because they have the equipment, they know what's good on another piece of equipment in their mouth, and they know. Whereas you see women in porn go in such a horrible way like that. How does that guy even feel that? You know what I mean? Like it's terrible job, terrible. Women are useless.
Oh, I beg to differ because I've had some that weren't great at it, but I've also had some that were really good at it.
But I
And
don't.
sometimes you just gotta grab them by the back of the head and show them.
Well, I'm not saying you definitely can find gay men that also can't do it. And I got a blowjob in jail once, and I don't know if he was so much gay-ish, gay-ish, and ready to play the jail game, but I pushed him away and rolled over like this is terrible. This is ridiculous. Like that's what I mean. And that's do you realize
Yeah, these dudes that were like, yeah, I went with I sucked a couple of dicks just because I was curious. Nah, motherfucker, you're gay. No straight man is curious as to what it's like to have a dick in your mouth.
yeah, he was this Mexican guy. He wasn't all that bad looking, but he did have like a dark lump of not outrageous, but that made him a little attractive. But It should have been good in jail. But it wasn't because he was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it works the same way with, straight guys going down on girls. We all think we're masters at it. Um, I will actually, because every woman's a little bit different. I'll actually ask them like, hey, do you like this? Do you not like this? Just fucking tell me. That way I can and I ask it early on, and I'm like, just fucking tell me if I'm doing it right. Tell me what you like. This way, every other time when we do this, like you'll actually like it instead of pretending, and then we both have a good time.
Hey,
And
Jonathan Homosexual Robbins is here. Maybe he'll come so that we don't.
oh god,
So we can have a three-way. Oh, are you done with him? I don't know what the
yeah, I really don't want to hear
fuck.
Jonathan explain his dick sucking abilities. I don't have the bond with Jonathan Robbins that I have with you, JT.
I don't have a problem either, but it's just that. Well, now we're up to a big 35. Don't you wish you could be like Cat and get like huge, vast audiences that mean so much?
Oh, dude, it's easy to get. It's easy to get 200 plus people.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta do the bullshit that they do, which I don't really. Not saying I haven't done it, but and I've got some kind of curse. It's like every time I get over 200 viewers, not every time, but the majority of the time, there's some reason why I got to take that stream down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand.
But I don't give a shit as long as there's. I don't care if there's two people in here as long as we're having a good time. Fuck it.
Well, are we?
Well, I don't know. People are still here, so. Oh shit.
Oh, who the hell's that? Oh no, I'm leaving.
Hello, Bill.
What's going on, Sam?
It's been a long time since I've been on panel.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you come on.
I was just in there. That was indeed me, causing a little bit of a stir in Ryan's chat, shaking things up a little bit. That it looks like Ryan is going on stream to cock block you for your viewers.
Yeah.
So anyway, the old crowd is there. LBD, Confederate Vic, there.
He can have them.
99.4% of the things that are said there are either lies or misinformation or not the facts. Bill, I gotta say something though. I'm disappointed as you said, entertainment director. I am very. You were well paid to be the entertainment director for this Florida trip, and I've always thought you to be a straight-blooded American heterosexual. Supplying us with heterosexual entertainment, but apparently the entire trip was just a big gay orgy in which we used Ray as bait in order to acquire men for sex for the period of time that we had that trip. So I've got to finger you. Although I don't
finger me.
I've got to finger you and all that and say, Bill, I'm disappointed as the entertainment director. You were in charge of supplying us with heterosexual entertainment, and instead it was a big homosexual orgy. According to the very trusted inside source, Vic, who says that it was a gay orgy. So I'm disappointed in you, Bill. But JT, on the other hand, was very excited with some of the Brazilian cabana boys that you brought around. So
those actually weren't mine. I don't know where the fuck they came from. All right, couple of things. One, you guys left me locked in the trunk the entire fucking time, so I wasn't able to supervise. Two, all of the heterosexual lady entertainment was at the house where we were staying. You guys all left and went other places, so you
Right.
can't really blame that on me.
Well, I mean, I guess Vic was following us around because that's apparently what we were doing. We were not catching predators. We were traveling around seedy parts of Central Florida with JT in tow, trying our best to find homosexual encounters.
I don't think there was a single moment where somebody wasn't sucking something.
I agree, and I witnessed a lot of stuff down there that's going to leak out at some point. I'm sure, really leak out. I saw all kinds of crazy stuff, but we did have a verbal, an oral NDA that was agreed upon before the trip. So
No, it wasn't. Up to me.
JT does not abide by any oral agreements. It's got to be. It's got to be
It
enough.
sounds like you had more oral on the trip than before.
Sam told me you wanted to be left in the trunk. That's why when I would walk by the car, you know, as I took pictures of all the license plates around, when I heard you begging to get out, I just thought like, no, that's what he enjoys.
And so
It is.
Just to go down a litany of false or misleading or outright lie that the crew over in Prosecutor Ryan stream, in which, you know, the very stable, very sound-minded prosecutor or detective Ryan is running in his stream. No one is titled. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. The only thing I owe is the people on the trip, the catcher and the decoys that were involved, and the detectives. I don't owe anything to anyone, and I'm not going to supply anything to anyone. If they
that is not correct.
If they want to assume that the evidence wasn't turned in by basically asking me to provide it or prove it, they can kiss my ass. I don't have to give it to them. I'm not going to give it to them because they're asking it in a condescending, doxing, you're a liar, rather than for the kids. They don't obviously give a fuck about the kids. They care about one thing, and that's doxing. There's nothing that can provide them that would be suitable. Much like L. Beatty has already said, and Prosecutor Ryan and Confederate Vic have said, even if this case is dismissed against Edward, or the case, was never even, he's no longer under suspicion, he's not charged, they're not happy with that because of the way that they claim that he came in about the accusation and withheld it according to them and didn't disclose it. So you can't even prove your innocence here. There's no point in me providing it to anyone.
It would not matter if the court gave Ed a paper that said it was our bad, our mistake, you were not affiliated with us in any way, shape, or form. This case is dropped. It wouldn't matter. They'd still be going on with it because
essentially have the court. The court states that Edward is innocent and he's no longer under suspicion. I've now come to learn that that wouldn't even matter. So providing evidence I turned in, or the team turned in, I'm not even going to say I turned in, the team worked together to turn in this evidence for these cases. You don't have to trust me. I owe it to the decoys and the other people that were on, that were part of this group, that, it became my responsibility to turn certain items in, and I took it upon myself to do that. And if you need proof of it, you can kiss my ass. I don't owe you or anyone else.
Take a breath, and now let me reveal another secret from Florida. The main thing that I always got, especially I got it from Red Hood, was, I have a question. Why were you there? Don't you block me. I'm going to do it. And I was there because Sam made me eat out of a dog bowl, and he would throw $20 bills at me, and I need them. Oh, he humiliated me in front of like a whole group of friends. It was his friends. There was like 40 people in there.
I thought it was kind of hot.
Was it all men and were we all naked, JT, or was there a couple women in there?
Oh, they were all these men in corny leather outfits with a stupid hat and all that.
Oh,
And all the hats said captain on top. And
was that the Bill? Was that your entertainment that you had sent over that one night, or were you still trying to speed dial that you missed the part that this was supposed to be a gay orgy entertainment, not straight orgy entertainment?
All I did was provide cocaine. Whatever happened after that's on you.
people need to know. They deserve to know.
The people deserve to know every little detail of what happened on the trip.
I'll tell you one thing. Last time I talked to Sam, we were just kidding around, and I went, "Why do you put butter on banana nut bread?" And he was like, "I didn't do that." But somebody kept doing it and like leaving their knife and the butter out, and I blamed it on Sam. And I think he's lying.
But just the obsession that people. This trip is now. I've almost forgotten about most of what has happened on the trip, not because it was such a sore, such a horrifying trauma event, but it's been so long ago. And I mean, how much more legs does this have for people to be obsessed with? Or
I know there's just somebody above
content
complaining about you, Sam, saying, put it to rest. Florida was a long time ago. And it's like, yeah, but only it comes up every day, whether you're there or not. And only 3 days ago, you were involved in a plot at a gay bar with using Ray as bait.
Right. Oh, that was the latest. That I guess Ray's whole purpose on the trip. I mean, again, not trusting any of our sources or anything. Let's trust the credible people that make shit up routinely, that don't know, the process or procedure. I love how everyone on the chat in Ryan's is like, "Did you turn in the evidence?" They've done no catches themselves. They've never interacted with law enforcement. I think Ryan has done what? Bill, what's he done? 2 catches in the last 3 years or 3 catches in the last 2 years? I forgot which was the 2
I don't know, but most of the catches were collabs with other people, so it's not like they're really his.
Right, and it's not like he's ever actually had to interact with police or law enforcement. I would say that most of the time you are going to get a successful prosecution, at least in my experience, that the detectives have asked that we not release anything until the case moves forward. So it's like the Michael Daly situation. I am very happy to say that once we have, I'm going to ask the detectives involved, but once we have either an arrest or a search warrant executed on 2 of the individuals, I will make sure that we can release some of that information. But again, I'm not releasing it for the lunatics that come here and ask for the evidence, and they're only doing it to troll. Again, they don't care. They never ask anyone else about turning in any of the evidence, or they continue to harass people about it. And if you don't trust my word, you can kiss my ass, because I don't owe you anything. And welcome, Telly. I will honor a couple questions from you because I respect you. So if you have a couple questions for me, I'll answer your questions. But I'm not going to answer troll-like questions that are meant to harass and dox and hurt people. And it's not about the big, the mission. So anyway.
Sorry, have you finished or?
Well, you jumped up, and I'm ceding the floor to you as you come up.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks. It's just curious, mate. How many catches? Is this the first time you've actually been on a catch?
It was the first time I was on a catch. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And is this the first time you've actually given evidence into the police?
As it relates to predators and catches, or as it relates to a crime of any kind?
Well, we're talking catches, so you were just dissing people on them sort of not having experience in catching or giving in evidence. Yeah, but you seem pretty sort of low on that experience yourself, mate, to be sort of throwing those sorts of.
He just said he was.
I've sent I've spent the last month and a half involved in it, Telly. So I do have some experience now. I didn't. You asked me, have I ever been on a catch prior to this trip in April? No, I haven't. But I did during the trip and after the trip, Telly. I have gotten substantial amount of experience dealing with certain agencies, ICAC's procedures, detectives that work with ICAC, and successful prosecutions of cases. So you sort of asked me two questions. You asked me,
yeah, I did. Yeah,
on a catch prior to April, Telly. I've never been on a catch.
yeah. I just wanted to bring it out because you were sort of.
Because Vic, I don't think
I thought you were giving the floor to me, mate.
Have you ever been on a catch, and have you ever dealt with law enforcement?
You were talking about other catchers, okay, that don't have the same experience that you have. Hey, mate, can you let me finish, for fuck's sake?
I was talking about the people on the panel, so you're saying something that's not true.
What are you talking about? You were talking about Ryan for one. He's done catches. How do you know? How do you know how much experience? For fuck's sake, will you shut up and let me finish?
And I was talking about LB and the people in the chat who are not catchers. But go ahead.
Okay, all right. So no one can have an opinion unless they've actually been on a catch. Is that right? You've never had an opinion before you went on your catches. Is that right?
Your opinion is less meaningful, and your questions become more harassing and trolling if you've never interacted with law enforcement as it relates to catches. Yeah.
Okay, but you've been here for 12 months before trying to fucking put rules and regulations and your fucking interpretation of the way things should be done on the fucking community for 12 months, and you'd never even been on a catch.
Wrong.
You'd never been on a catch before fucking a month ago.
Wrong, Telly. I'm going to say it again. Wrong for the fifth time. I didn't try to put my...
Don't fucking patronize me, mate. You're a fucking lightweight, okay?
Wrong.
Just back off.
You're lying. So you can continue to lie and say wrong shit.
Lie? What am I lying about, Sam?
I didn't for 12 months say my rules. You're wrong on two counts again. I said that I wanted to put a handbook together and collaborate with catchers and a lawyer and detectives so that there could be a uniform way of having a standardized uniform system so that people, when they go out and catch, wouldn't run into major problems if they wanted to go in catching. Nowhere did I say that it had to be my way, Telly. So you're wrong.
I'm not wrong, mate. Just calm down a little bit, will you? You've been fucking around for 12 months.
Attitude.
You say fucking around. I've been around for 5 months. I trolled.
You get that attitude.
I trolled Tommy.
Sorry, JT. I can't hear what you're saying over this guy.
You are attacking. Everything you say to Sam is a leading.
Of course it is. Yeah.
You are attacking.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! I'm attacking him. I'm trying to get some. I'm trying to get some perspective here with this little guy fucking lecturing people on how things should be done because he's done fucking because he happened to be he was present on fucking 3 catches or 4 catches on one weekend. He's now a fucking expert. The other thing, mate, if you were you were going to give, you wanted to structure up ways that things should be catches should be gone about. You put together this. No, hang on. Let me finish. You put together this weekend, and Sam. You put together this weekend, and you hadn't even considered who was going to collect the evidence and who was going to turn it into the police.
It was a collaborative effort, and as you've already
said, collaborative fucking effort. And no, you're the organizer, mate.
Prior to April, I didn't have any experience about who actually turns into evidence. Do you know that? You don't know that.
Mate, if I was setting up one of these catches, that would be the first thing that I would think about is who's going to collate the evidence and who's going to turn it into the police, not who's going to do the fucking interviews and be the showman. That's the last thing on the fucking list.
Well, thank you. You seem like an expert, so maybe you can put on a trip then the next one.
Mate, it's common sense from any fucking operational thing.
Put on a trip, Kelly. Run one from Europe. We'll see how you do.
Oh, fuck. You can't take any fucking...
Must know best. Why don't you do it, Telly?
Do it. Yeah, go ahead. Or
so is my point not valid, JT?
All right.
All you're doing is
sorry, guys. I had to go file a copyright strike.
What? You got a
No, I had to go file a copyright strike. And if you're still in here, I want to wish you a happy Pride Month. All right, fellas, go ahead.
Is Tech gay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, JT, I mean, you're contributing a lot as well, aren't you, really?
What now?
I said you were contributing a lot. You're having a go at me, mate. I'm just trying to put into perspective what someone, an organisational person would do in any fucking project.
The 7 catches I've been on, I've always described them as ride-alongs. So don't give me shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm a fucking organisational fucking expert, all right? So I can add a little bit of fucking insight.
What are you saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, Telly, a lot of the information that you're going by is shit that you heard other people say,
No,
and it's not accurate.
What I'm saying is if you're organising a fucking catching trip and you've got decoys working there and it's about getting convictions, the first thing you fucking think about is how are you going to structure your information, who you're going to give it to, and who's going to do the fucking work. You don't think about, okay, who's going to do the interviews with the preds and whether you're going to go to fucking gay bars and what you're going to eat. That's the last thing on the fucking list.
That's ridiculous.
And see, that's
You portray it as if it's all.
You're a fucking joke.
Wait, hold on.
Sitting
But
here,
to portray it as if it was all going. Wait a minute, Sam. To portray it as all. Because at the end, Ray and I went to a gay bar at my request.
No, listen, JT, I don't give a fuck about the gay bar, mate.
You just said that. And the point is,
yeah, I'm saying
18 hours a day, all preds all the time.
No, mate, it's not about the fucking gay bar. I was just saying it's like the fucking entertainment shit. I mean, what you do?
There was no entertainment. It was work from the day
they
got.
Sam, just go back to the point about organising who should have fucking given the evidence in.
Okay.
You acted like it was all that, just partying.
Okay.
Well, hey, JT, he certainly thought about going to the gay bar before he thought about who was going to give the fucking evidence in.
I didn't have to go to the gay bar.
What the fuck are you?
Well, whatever, wherever you fucking went.
I didn't even know they were at a gay bar. Fuck you, Telly. You're fucking full of shit. You're a bullshit.
Mate, you were there for fucking how long? And the last.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So fuck.
I do, mate. I know what I'm fucking talking about.
You make up.
The last thing on your list was who was going. The last thing on fucking JT. Will you fucking shut up for a minute, for fuck's sake?
Whatever. That's what you do.
The last thing on your list was who was going to put together the evidence.
Whatever.
No, go ahead.
How do you know, Telly? I mean, how do you know what happened before?
Because he said himself. He said himself that the last thing they hadn't worked out who was going to do it, and the responsibility fell on Sam. That's his own fucking words, and that was after the fact.
That we partied at a gay bar for 4 days.
Oh, JT, drop the fucking gay bar for fuck's sake, will you?
Kelly,
why did you bring it up?
Man, I brought it up to fucking annoy you, mate, and it worked. You bit, all right?
Make it sound like a big party trip when we worked about 8 hours a day. Goddamn.
You worked. You worked. What do you mean you fucking worked? I mean, whatever you do, it's great. You were there, fantastic. I don't care. The thing that I'm talking about is the organisation of the thing. The most important thing is getting convictions, not producing a fucking TV show for the fucking fans.
Branched off, you fucking liar.
Okay, so
I'm not a fucking liar, JT.
There's one.
You're fucking deluded, mate.
Kelly, there's one person that I will listen to what you're saying.
Thanks, buddy.
Would have there been?
We got to listen to what you're saying.
Are you gonna keep like I'm?
Oh, sorry. Am I talking over you? Sorry, mate. Sorry. Go on.
Are you gonna be a dickhead or are you gonna listen?
No, I'll be a bitchhead if it fucking gets you annoyed. Sure.
About the answer, so why the fuck am I answering anything of yours?
Well, come on, answer.
Fucking dick.
Mate, if there's a bitch here, it's fucking you, mate.
You're a dickhead. Call me what you want. You're a fucking little entitled, arrogant European or
European. I'm a fucking Australian, you dickhead. It's the other side of the world.
You're a fucking Australian by way of Europe. Okay.
You know where Europe is?
Oh yeah, Kelly, I do know where Europe is. It's on the ass end of the ass.
All right, come on then. What were you going to say?
We could have done a better job organizing how the evidence would be turned in after the trip as a team.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. So my point's taken then. Is that after all that argument and all that fucking defensiveness,
But
you're sort of saying that I was right? My point's valid? Is that your fucking point now?
You don't have the right to
Except
lie.
for the parts where you lied.
JT, shut the fuck up, will you?
Liar.
And there you go.
Hey,
Has been turned in. That's it. So why
show each other a little respect.
we could have done a
Okay.
better
I'll
job
tell you,
with
retract
You
that.
mean Kelly, right?
organizing how the evidence was turned in to how does that go to the evidence was never turned in? Prove to us that you turned in the evidence. I don't have to prove to you or anyone else that the evidence was turned in.
Well, you certainly need to prove it to the decoy team, I would have thought. It's none of my business, I agree. I mean, okay, sorry, go on.
So there you go. They already have. How do you know they haven't been given the evidence?
I don't know, mate. You're mouthing off. You're the one who's making it public, and you're wondering why people are asking questions of you.
I'm not answering your questions because I don't think.
No, but I'm saying it's you making this a public fucking thing, and then you're withholding information because it makes you fucking feel strong. It's like, okay, if you want to be a deal, do it.
Oh, I think you're a harassing. You just want to.
Harassing for asking whether or not you've turned in the evidence after you've made it a public spectacle.
The evidence has been turned in since I said it a month ago, Telly. What else do you want to know? You're not entitled. I don't have to prove it to you. If you don't believe me, think I'm a liar. I don't have to prove it to you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
So the evidence has been turned in. Are you calling me a liar?
People don't have to believe you either.
And I don't give a fuck if they do or they don't.
Well, why are you up there fucking complaining then, you big girl's blouse?
You came up here to ask me questions, and I'm answering your questions.
No, mate, you're up there lecturing. You're up there fucking telling everyone that everyone's a fucking whinger because they're asking you whether or not you've turned in your evidence and they don't believe you.
People have blocked me on other channels, and I'm glad you're allowed to come up here and talk, but I can't go on any other channel and talk. So congratulations.
No, that's not true. Ryan was just asking you up there then. So that's another lie.
Caps, LB, everybody, Creeps, they all have blocked me. So that's good.
But you were just asked up then on NV Caps, and you didn't fucking come up. You came over here.
Because they want to ask me if I've turned in the evidence, and I've already said that I have.
Sorry. Okay. So you go up on panels as long as you're asked certain questions. Is that it?
No. It's asked and then answered. Have I turned in the evidence?
He invited you to ask questions.
Yes, the team has turned in the evidence.
JT.
He invited you, you liar.
I'm not a fucking liar.
You just said picking questions and all that. He invited you, you stupid idiot.
What are you fucking talking about?
He said, I respect you and I'll answer your questions. And he's trying to answer them, but you keep making them all leading and misguided. And also, you're just throwing in fucking lies like the whole thing was a big party.
A gay orgy. I respect say that. I thought you mentioned that it's a gay orgy, and then you lie and say you don't care about the gay stuff when you
Who said? I didn't say anything about a gay fucking orgy.
Prior to that, you said you
okay.
I didn't say a gay orgy. I said somebody went to a gay bar. Did somebody go to a gay bar or not? I said that you thought about the entertainment that you were doing more than you thought about who was turning things into the police.
There was no thing, and it was only two of us.
I had no.
At the very end,
it was a fuck no. Jesus, who does it?
You're a liar, Kelly. You've proved yourself to be a fucking liar here.
A liar? How, JT?
I had more respect for you before.
How am I a liar? Oh, you got no respect for me, and that's going to bother me.
You just again repeated that it was all a big entertainment junket.
No, I haven't. Listen, I didn't say it was a big entertainment junket. I said that you had prioritized entertainment over who was going to turn the evidence into police.
There, except for me and Ray going to a gay bar while Sam drove people to the airport, and then I'd be driven to the airport. That's the entertainment. God damn.
Well, hey JT, that entertainment happened before the conversation about who was going to turn the evidence into police.
But you're saying it, and the point is it's a separate accusation, and you're making it sound like a big part.
I'm not making accusations.
Point now, the evidence turned in. What else would you like to know, Telly?
No, nothing. No, I'm just pointing out that you're a hypocrite. That's all.
Oh, you're a
And
liar.
you're criticizing other people who are doing catches and things, and your shit's not very fucking tight anyway.
Ryan, because he hasn't really been involved in that many proceedings to even know the process. And
Yeah, but it's like you're saying, how do people know what you've done, and you want that sort of cover, but you won't give the other people the same respect. How do you know what these other people have been doing?
If LB's caught someone, let me know. If Vic has caught someone, let me know. Have you caught someone? Let me know.
But it's like, so you have to have caught someone to have a valid fucking question, do you?
I think you have to have it to have experience with how law enforcement and how the public records work, how detectives work investigations. Do they want you to? They drive the investigation. So do they want you to release tapes? Do they want you to release the catch prior to there being a prosecution? So for people saying, let's get an exposure out there, don't know that, well, maybe the detectives don't want that tape to be out there and released prior to a successful charging document.
I just think, this is my last comment, and then I'll go and let you get back to your stuff. But I just think it's really hilarious that you've been a fucking bystander on 4 fucking catches, and now you're a fucking expert on the whole fucking game. I'm not claiming to be one, but anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, JT, just chill, will you, mate?
You suck. You proved yourself to be a liar.
No. Hey, Toe.
Hi.
I don't think that Telly is so much. Hold on a second, Toe. I don't think that Telly is so much of a liar is that he hears bad information from people like Ryan and that kind of thing.
The whole way through, he slanted it, and he twice repeated the idea of the big entertainment gay bar thing, the whole thing. He made it sound that way the whole time, and the more you could point it out, the more he says he didn't say that. Even though at that point, the last point, he said it just 2 minutes before. So he does lie. He slants and lies.
Yeah.
And I didn't used to think so, but I do now.
Yeah,
he's a liar.
It's not that he lies, but he came up and said things that were not true. So the trip was not about entertainment. We didn't even think about the quote unquote entertainment, nor did we have any entertainment.
There never was.
We worked from the day that people got there to the day they left. Yes, did Ray go at JT's request once we were complete with the final day?
It's all over.
They went to a bar somewhere and had a drink at the bar while I was taking people to the airport. And then, I got him to the airport. So this idea that this was somehow some, again, it's just a false and ridiculous narrative.
That's my point.
It's
As
stupid.
Telly repeated that over and over and then said he didn't say it. And that's lying. He said that over and over. He painted that picture so that everyone could think, it was just a big, we're all hopping around in hula skirts and shit in Florida and having a big gay orgy.
Ryan
he lied about it.
Now all of a sudden he wants to come up here and talk. Toe, what's going on, man?
Okay, so I think the thing about everything that is going on about the catches that y'all did down in Florida is, okay, so I just came back from North Carolina, did 2 catches there. It took 3 days for us to turn in the evidence. And I've been on other catches. I've had convictions with Memory Maker and, 2 convictions. One was a probation violation, and the other one was 15 years with Memory Maker. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. The thing about it is, it took how long to turn in the evidence, which is why everybody's all up in the stink. I just wanted to air it out so that everybody can understand what's going on and why everybody's having a stink. From what I can see, is that it took so long. Why wasn't it all done immediately as soon as everybody got home and got everything processed?
No problem, Toe. I'm not even going to go any farther. How do you know that it took so long? Explain that to me.
By what you were saying.
What did I say that would have given you the fact that it took a long time?
The fact that you said you went through ICAC and all this other stuff, and I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago, you said the evidence has finally been turned in. If I remember correctly, it was on I think it was on actually this panel with Bill.
So 3 weeks ago, I said finally the evidence for one case has been completely turned in. What made you conclude that all the cases took such a long time? I'm just trying to get to where you're trying to make a statement that I'm not going to let the bullshit. And why is it? I would ask, why do people want to know? I would ask first. Did I ask you if you turned in your evidence after your trip?
No, but
okay. Why?
Okay. Hold on. Sam.
Did anyone ask? Hold on. Did anyone ask you about the evidence being turned in for your catches?
The decoy did.
Okay, the decoy. So you owed it to the decoy to let them know about the evidence trail, correct?
Yeah, and I told him exactly what the detective said.
Okay, so I have owed it to the people that are owed it, the decoys, about the evidence trail, for sure. So it's the standard is, because this trip has become so hot and people have said so much false bullshit, and there's a group of malicious people that want to dox and harm people on this trip and other people that weren't on this trip. You see, it's when you're asking a question when you don't give a fuck about the answer and you don't really have a reason to ask it, is when I have a problem with it. And when you have a malicious intent regarding the question, where you don't ask Tommy about his evidence, you don't ask you about your evidence, that we just it's whether you turned it in or not is immaterial. People really don't care. But for this trip in particular, there's a malicious intent with, did you turn in the evidence so we can obtain it and dox it?
I think it more has to do with who was on the trip.
Okay. And what does that have to do with? And did I ask Creeps, or did I ask anyone else that ever touched any evidence with Edward? People are worried about these catches, but Edward hasn't been involved in a lot of catches, and no one is sort of asking them, like, did they let their detectives know that Edward was involved in their catches? Like, why is it the standard for this trip to be, I need to let people know and the detectives know who was involved in the trip and in what context they were involved? But all of the other stuff that Edward has done for the community and for catches, no one has ever asked. For instance, PvP. Did PvP have any evidence that was obtained with Edward's help, or did he do any help identifying the predators like he helped us on our trip? What is it about our trip in particular that people are obsessed about? That's kind of what I'd like to know.
I think that has to deal with the timing of when the video in question came out. Yes. About Edward's past. And do I know if the other people that worked with him before we all found out about this at the same time, if they asked, I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
I think it's reasonable for me to direct the question back to them, that have they subsequently, now that they've learned about this video, that we all somehow just learned about this issue with Ed, did they go back and let the detectives and prosecutors in those cases know that Edward was involved in those catches? Is that a reasonable question, Toe? If they ask me, shouldn't I be entitled to that answer too? Like, say, PvP or Creeps? Did he go back and let all the detectives know, or had reason to? Why is there a double standard? That's all I'm curious about.
I mean, in retrospect, I believe everybody has the right to ask that question.
Okay. What in the question being, did you let your detective or law enforcement know that someone years ago was a suspect in an investigation?
Are you asking if they should do that, or if they have?
I'm asking what the obsession is with this particular trip. That's what I'm just. I want to know why 2 months later, this is still a hot talking point.
That I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I think I know. I think it's because people are trolls and they're trying to maliciously harm people, and they're doing it for malicious intent. Because if we actually gave a shit about evidence being turned in, like Telly, who's now regularly in Colorado Patrol's chat, Colorado Pathological Patrol has meticulously documented dozens and dozens of cases in which the evidence, this is an experienced catcher, not an amateur catcher like I was accused of not turning things in, but an experienced catcher in the community who is not turning in evidence to get cases prosecuted. And Telly is in that person's chat and being friendly with them and on panel with them. Why is there a double standard with this trip and not with a catcher that has 300 catches and has not turned in the evidence, and these people are free? These preds are free.
Just that one meeting he had with the cops says it all right there. That's really all you have to listen to
Right,
is that one meeting he had with the cops. They're like, we're waiting on your shit, man.
We have an experienced catcher involved in 300 catches, allegedly, and 150 criminal arrests. And yet there's detectives going on record saying that that catcher's not turning in the evidence, and those predators are free, and the cases are closed. And the very people that are asking me about the evidence for this trip being turned in are also the ones not asking the questions.
Sam, hold on. Let me blow a whistle right here for one tiny injection into there. I happen to know that report from the detective up in Weld County is distributed and available and in easy reach of all of the police departments around on the Front Range of Colorado. The end. Go back.
So we have a catcher who we have police in Colorado who are not cooperating because they don't turn in the evidence. And yet this trip, there's a triple standard, quadruple standard with where's the evidence being turned in, whereas we have an experienced catcher involved in hundreds of cases, and the very people asking me these questions are in his chat and donating money and involved in supporting that organization. When we have the website Colorado Pathologic Patrol that is meticulously obtaining reports demonstrating law enforcement saying that these cases are closed, they aren't being arrested, and the predator is free. So again, I come back to the idea of a double standard.
Well, and I say this, if it is true that Tommy is not turning in the evidence, then that's really fucked up.
When you say, so see, there you go with if it is true. We have detectives, a dozen of them, putting in official reports stating what you said if it is true. So to me, that's a statement of fact. Colorado Patrol did not turn in the evidence, and the case is closed, and the predator is free. So it's not if it is true, it is true. And Telly and Mr. X and all the people over there and that FBC group that want to think, they have to deal with that. See, they can't deal with that. They want to remain obsessed with these couple catches when we've got hundreds that have been dismissed or thrown out because Tommy and company are not cooperating with the investigation. So again, I come back to the idea of a double standard. And additionally, I don't owe anybody anything. I owe it, as you owed it, to the decoys and the team to let them know the status of the evidence being turned over. And I don't owe it to any of the trolls that want to do it to harass and dox.
I object to the fact that we had all this entertainment and everything, and nobody woke me up. I heard that Tina Turner did one of her last shows at the pool at Sam's rental house there, and nobody even woke me up because it was all entertainment all the time, according to Tal.
So if someone asks you, show us that you actually turned in the evidence, how would you go? Would you turn over the police report that was generated with your information on it and the case number?
I would show the fucking email of me sending it to the officer.
So you would show an email, but was there an actual police report?
I mean, we gave our information to the police, so I'm sure there's an incident report.
Yeah, and you gave your information with your phone number and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're okay.
That's the problem over here on this one.
So if you wanted to turn over a case number, would you turn it over to the community if somebody asked you, hey, what was the case number for that case?
If I had it handy, yeah.
Okay. And you wouldn't have a problem if that has your information on it and it has your decoys information and there's not a concern about any identity issues?
I mean, if they want to know what my name is, go right ahead. I don't care.
Okay. Well, you're under a little different scrutiny than folks on this trip, but you know, if you think that if someone has but nobody has asked you for that, but you would, if I'm asking for it you now, you release it, I guess, to the community.
I will show the email. I have no problem, but I have it right here.
Okay. Well, no, the email, but I'm saying that there's a demand for a police report. So I'm saying, like, you know, you know, would you turn over a police report? When I say that these are non-catchers saying this, see, I'm not asking it of you because I know how it works because I've had to go through it the last month. I don't need,
If they ask me for it right now, right now, I would have to say wait till the morning so I can call the department and get the case number.
Anyway, nothing's ever going to happen.
but you don't owe it to anyone other than the team that you worked with, really.
Right. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I don't care.
Right. You don't care, I guess, because I guess your personal information is not as.
See, here's the thing, is that's something small to me.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I mean,
but
it's not a small thing to everybody though. Some people really do give a shit about it.
Some people's lives have been destroyed by being doxxed in this community. You do realize that, right? Their lives have been destroyed such that they have asked Bill and others to never say their name again, even though that what Bill is saying is true, to never say their name again because of the harassment and the torture they have gotten. You do realize that, right, Toe?
I mean, they troll me all the time about my toes. Come on.
Who gives a shit about? We're not talking about that kind of bullshit. We're talking about people being threatened, their jobs being called, their family being called. There's all kinds of shit that I could say. I'll sit here and take heat all fucking night because I don't want to mention people's names that I could use to defend my position. But they're like, Bill, just please just don't bring me into the conversation anymore because I don't want to go through this all again. And I respect that.
See, here's the thing: is I do not agree with doxing. It's the lowest form of bullshit that you can.
Right, and would you say that police reports might be used? Would you say, Toe, there's the potentiality that some people might want these police reports to dox, which you've just admitted is the lowest of the low? Would you say that's a possibility?
Most fucking definitely.
Right. So when you ask me like about, well, you know, you'll release the case numbers for your cases, but when you're saying that it's the lowest of the low to dox, but we've got cases in this community of people doxing by using police reports. It's kind of like you're speaking, I don't know, you're speaking kind of two sides of the thing where I don't care about it, but it's a real problem.
New subject.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Toad needs a sugar boost. No, I don't.
Hey, this is going nowhere. Can't we go back to the earlier in this thing where we're talking about like our first rock concerts and stuff like that? Why don't you both tell us about that? Because otherwise this is circular and it never ends. Never.
Right.
So, Toad, what was your first rock concert?
My first rock concert?
Yeah.
Would you
probably Boy George and the Culture Club?
No, would you consider?
Don't lie.
Would you consider Linkin Park rock?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There was a Cypress Hill Linkin Park concert when I was like 14.
Holy crap! You're much younger than me then. Apparently.
I'm 36.
Yeah, that's much younger. First time I ever heard of Linkin Park, there was a school shooting, and they got a hold of like some junior high school kid who was all smirky and going like, yeah, you know, about the Killers. He's like, yeah, they were really into Linkin Park. And that, of course, made me find out what Linkin Park was. Anyway,
I
Sam,
wasn't. They have like 3 songs that I like, but I wasn't really super into them.
Sam, I suppose it was Madonna for you.
Why, of course. Why, of course.
I thought you quit because you couldn't argue anymore because I'm blocking it. Block it, I tells you.
No,
Anyways, I'm gonna jump off of here.
I wanted to hear from Toe and see if he had anything like.
So naturally, we can't go to a neutral subject without it. I quit. Anyway, but what about you, Sam? Rock concert.
About in relation to what?
That's what we were talking about in funner times an hour ago. As in, instead of arguing the same circular thing over, what was your first rock concert?
I think I went to U2.
Are you lying?
No,
Do you have a receipt?
it was a U2 concert.
No, I don't. I don't
Oh
love.
man, I
Don't
remember
love
my
it.
dad.
Like it.
Clown Force. I remember my dad. He had to hide him from my mom, but I remember on his 8-track player in his truck, he had the Beach Boys and Chicago in there. Man, I probably have every Beach Boys song memorized from when I was a kid.
I'm not a big fan of the Beach Boys, but I do love some early Chicago before Terry Kath blew his head off. But I would love to have seen them both. As in, like, that would be a really good time, summertime concert, I think, you know.
Well, I know it's not your thing, but they do draw chicks, so, or at least they did.
That Mike Love is the biggest weirdo in rock. Every single musician hates his guts.
Well, Charles Manson actually wrote some of the Beach Boys songs.
He wrote,
He he was friends with their drummer.
yeah, Dennis Wilson. And Dennis
Hmm.
Wilson was so afraid of him. I mean, like, even the girls with their bugs all over them, they all got, every one of the Beach Boys got venereal disease from those girls at Dennis Wilson's
Oh
house.
yeah.
And then he started staying somewhere else because he was afraid to go into his own house because Manson was there. And Manson was all guns and, crazy talk and shit.
Yep. Charles Manson actually thought he was going to be a rock star.
He got a song on a Beach Boys album, and at that in the 60s,
Yeah.
that was big, you know.
Sorry, I'm just going back to read through chat to see if there's any questions.
Oh, Sam, and you and your bitterness. I should have fucking picked up. Well, if they had ashtrays, I should have picked up a big marble ashtray and mashed you out of this world when I had the chance.
Yeah, and just to answer Real MasterCard real quick, no, it wasn't my identity that I was worried about.
Yeah, there's that. If you think about it. Mm-hmm. Where the resistance came in.
Mr. Magoo, man, where does Mr. Magoo come from? I never see him really in many other stuff, and then every time he's like Voldemort, just like PHI. You say the name, I go on panel, and there's Mr. Magoo. Bill, do you ever see him in your chat very much?
Occasionally. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember like if it's only when you're on or not, but yeah, it's every now and then that Mr. Magoo is here.
Cat eyes, go back to bacon.
You give up. Not fighting you, Mr. Magoo. Why don't you come on up here? No, but like I also find it strange that people spend they have their whole channels dedicated to dragging or trolling Tommy, or they call it in Real MasterCard is a perfect example. He spent a year and a half, 2 years getting information from various anti-Tommy people. He puts in very detailed things about Tommy's bullshit, and then all of a sudden he's in here apologizing in Tommy's chat about various stuff to Tommy directly. I just
really?
find
Sam,
it kind of odd.
I gotta correct you, Sam. There is reason to believe that there's a second Real MasterCard who's causing that mayhem.
Okay.
No,
Not Real
It was-
MasterCard 2.0.
I was just talking to him. So I didn't want to. I wanted to stop you from saying anything wrong, even though you had reason to say it, because I've said
No,
the
it's not. It's not just Real MasterCard. People clout built channels off of trolling or harassing or doxing Tommy have mocked him. You know, Caps made an entire livelihood from mocking
no shit.
Tommy's voice, and
Okay,
now
now
and then we find out that he's not. JT, shut the fuck up!
now we move.
God damn
rock
you! I
now
fucking
we
can't
move
even
from
get a
rock
goddamn
concert.
word in.
Now we.
Oh, that's it. I'm bringing out the ball gag. JT, let the man talk, or I'm gonna just
He
make
must
that ball
stop
gag really
at all
fucking tight.
costs. He must be stopped.
Shove a 10-inch dick in his mouth.
As in,
Mm.
okay, we went to
I
rock.
only have a 12-inch dick. Sorry.
Then you started whining again. So now, when did you lose your virginity, Sam? We need to know.
I was a late bloomer.
29.
Late 20.
That's right.
Late
Your name is.
teens.
I was confusing you with Ryan.
Well, I guess I have a skewed one because of my abuse, but what I wanted to say was that I just find it odd and very bizarre and strange that some people have made entire livelihoods and spent thousands of hours. I mean, and then they look at, and it's like, okay, I had a CPP Sam, I put on a holiday challenge, and yes, I was crackhead on patrol. Great job, MasterCard, for outing that. But I saw you in his chat the other day, Real MasterCard. So I don't know. That's kind of. I've seen you apologizing to him multiple times, which is you're right, man. If you have things to say sorry about to Tommy, and you want to go and sort of make up for all of your sins, go ahead. I mean, that's the thing. I just think it's very, very two-faced and hypocritical. And I just, Creeps has all but said that Tommy raped someone or he had evidence of it, and now they're on panels acting chummy together. Just
Yeah,
Bill
that's
is very, very
fucked up.
bizarre.
Damn, for God's sakes, you keep shutting me up. I just told you there's plenty of reason to believe it's not really the real MasterCard saying those things. And he's saying it right here, right now. So stop doing it. And why don't you shit in your hand and mash it in your face? God damn you.
Okay.
Oh yeah. People have caused me problems by making fake pulling the strings. Fucking Nevermore did that, and I don't know who else, but there are fake Bill fucking Powell Instagrams and shit. So it's pretty common for people to make it look like you're doing something you're not.
Yeah.
I think
And well, I mean, not even just not just Real MasterCard. It's just a whole group of people that,
hmm
and I'm not. You have to agree, or have a difference of opinion when it comes to Edward, and if you want to rush to judgment or not. I'm not, I'm not best friends with Edward. This idea that, I've been in an awkward position as far as I didn't know about this. I think that Edward could have been a little bit more forthcoming to the community rather than if he knew about this. And it looks, I'm sure that he had to have known about some of this stuff, that he could have disclosed it. I think having that disclosure would have been important for the community. But I don't think he's guilty of anything, and I don't think that there's any evidence to show. I don't think they gathered any evidence, and I do think the CP related case is closed. The only open case is related to the brother trying to take a weapon from one of the OAG offices gun. But hey, don't elect corrupt attorney generals. It looks like Texas has now impeached the very attorney general that started this whole investigation, Bill. So it looks like it looks like potentially all the cases, like the corrupt cop syndrome, if you've done anything wrong or corrupt, they could throw out all the cases. So that would be a shocking development if even the gun charge was thrown out because Ken Paxton was impeached recently, who was the Attorney General of Texas and will probably be removed from office. So all of his cases will be go through. So all of the people that wanted to convict Edward may have to wait another day because Ken Paxton was impeached. I did get to see Edward the other day. I was in Texas, I didn't fly LB, nor did I pay for Edward's defense. Edward has his own defense counsel, and I didn't see anybody there though that said that they were going to show up. Bill, I was surprised.
Were you really surprised?
I was surprised. I actually wanted to go. I was actually considering actually going to fight Vic finally, and Vic said that he was going to go to Ed's court case. Vic wasn't in the and it was a sleepy court hearing. And Vic was not there. Bobby Ho was a no show, and Tommy raised $25,000 to take the camper there, and he wasn't there either. Literally, the parking lot was empty. So all these tough folks that were going to show up and I guess just watch a hearing were no shows. I was the only show.
Did you sell any merchandise or anything?
No, I didn't.
He didn't get to sell a damn T-shirt because nobody showed up.
Nobody was there. I was trying to sell off my three CPP shirts and the sweatshirt that I have, and I couldn't even get any takers there because LB was not there, and Bobby Joe wasn't there, who said she was going to show up, and Vic wasn't there, and Caps wasn't there. And all these people weren't there. They were absent without leave, and Prosecutor Ryan wasn't even there. So I was disappointed. The prosecutor didn't even show up.
So all your Crucify Ed T-shirts are going to end up in Namibia?
And where?
In Africa.
Probably. No, I'm going to keep them as a maybe a museum at some point. There will be.
You're just going to rent another house to throw them in.
Right. Where we had such. So it's I'm just the last couple of weeks I've kind of stepped away. It's amazing when you do step away from this community, the things that you can get done in your own life and family and friends that you can, I've got some relatives that are sick and I can focus on some of that stuff, some things in support of them. And I do think that over paneling in this community can be a waste of time. And, I do have very, very few friends, actual friends in this community. And I do consider you both my friends. And, I've bought both of you. So I think I got my money's worth out of buying you both. Apparently, I bought you cocaine big time, Bill. So you've been really...
And I've enjoyed it very much.
Do you realize
you've had quite the run of cocaine sprees.
Running all over Florida for 18 hours a day, and you have an access to coke? God damn you. I could have used it.
Okay. I got a little confession to make. He gave me enough money to buy coke for all of us, but I kept it all for myself.
That's always what happens.
Oh, if that's, I do see that Real MasterCard put something, and I'm looking back now. If that is not the Real MasterCard that's been in Tommy's chat, I do apologize to him. I don't, he can say what he wants about me, and that's fine. If he hasn't been in Tommy's chat, sucking up to Tommy, I mean, he can if he wants to, but if it's indeed not him, I don't want to say that it is him. So I'm just reading back through chat, but that's not even
look now.
him.
The Marshallist wants to join in the gay sex wrong.
It's about everybody else, really, Bill, that has been
subjects. Quickly, be pliable.
JT, hold on a minute.
Be pliable.
This is why it's so hard to be on panel with JT, is because you can't even. He just cuts in and cuts you off.
That's au contraire. I've been walking around, going to the bathroom and all that. You go on, and I try and switch it to a lighter-hearted subject. Like, it looks like the Marshallist wants to fuck you, and you won't even catch.
Well, I don't know why we didn't take him to Florida then, JT. That would have been a perfect opportunity.
Because you were too cheap to take another person. I wanted my hairdresser and everything, and you said, "Oh, just you alone."
Yeah, that's one of my problems with that whole group over there that I don't associate with anymore is Cap and Creeps and fucking Bobby Joe and all of them. They dragged Tommy for 2 fucking years, and now they're kissing his ass on panels. It just don't sit right with me.
Lord.
No, and I mean, even like the Tommy situation, I have going back to Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo has been trolling me for a while, and I think that some of the stuff looking at Tommy, I don't like the guy. I don't know him though. He's never wronged me, and I do see a lot of the bullshit of people that come out and say things about him after the fact, after they tried to either clout build off of him or get money or attention. Scamula comes to mind, that she tried to scam that whole inside of the community to build up her channel off of Tommy's channel. And then that Jerry guy that you had up here, he slid into Tommy, tried to claim some sort of help, and it was a kind of a fraud. So there is this idea that some of this stuff with Tommy, like being a person who's fair. I don't like Tommy personally. I think he's a piece of shit to his family and his friends and the people that work for him. I've given him some really good advice that I think he's taken, in fact, which was one of the main things why I didn't like him was he repeatedly used the abuse of a family member to justify his own ideas, and like as if catching predators and pedophiles is not enough reason. You don't need to give any more reason, and you shouldn't talk about someone else's abuse. I respect the fact that I've seen him change his language. He has not really gone into detail or in depth about it, and I don't know if he took my advice or took others' advice, but some of the things that I've said, Tommy has actually taken and changed his actions, and I got to respect him for that, even though I don't know him. And even though he's hurt sort of people that I do know, some of the stuff that happens to him is kind of bullshit. And, when you are someone with 300,000 subs and you're a known quantity, you don't have time to individually try to be, he tried to do too much. He tried to overextend himself. And, even in our little group, we had that Marion lady who wanted to bring her charcuterie board us to eat. And essentially she was really good friends with Edward, and she knew about Edward's stuff. And we were so busy with the catching predators / gay orgy that we didn't have time to meet with her. So Edward was trying to arrange for us to have her over so that she could bring her food, her charcuterie food, for us to eat. And we simply did not have time. There was too much gay sex going on that we couldn't have her over. And so, but, at the end of the trip, she then went like crazy anti-Edward, starting blasting him. And it was very clear that she only did that because she didn't get to come over to the house and feed us her charcuterie of food. And it's like, this is the type of shit that happens to Tommy routinely. I got to give it my hats off, my understanding of the thing that I think that he got too big too quickly. He wasn't prepared to deal with the quote unquote stardom that is having that many subscribers and that many people wanting to suck your dick, I guess, in real or imagined. And, so I kind of understand that he got put in these positions. And I also understand that he's exactly right when he says that two people don't like each other and you try to defend or side with one, and then the next day they both become friends and fucking hate you. And it's like bizarre. It's like, and then he also said that, necessarily that the people that don't like Tommy are not necessarily friends. And we were never really friends. We didn't have anything in common but our dislike of or distrust of Tommy. And again, he's never done anything to me personally. I don't know him, and I don't have anything to apologize to him for. But I do see some of the things that he's, some of the stuff that is said about him is by people that got a vendetta against him. What I don't think is the website, Blue's website is freaking awesome. It is meticulous. It is detailed. It is organized. She meticulously goes through how he's not following up with his cases, and these predators are released in the community without proper follow-up. And he's basically doing the catch for the content, and then doing this after, doing the zero follow-up or lack of follow-up with the detective. that website is meticulously documenting it. And while I'm not sure the striking of Edward's channel that Blue did, I have to respect her a lot for the amount of detailed work that she does, following up on Tommy's lack of cooperation and lack of follow-up and turning in the evidence. And you know, I worked very hard for a couple weeks to make sure all the evidence was turned in. Most of the cases were turned in within a week after the trip, and they weren't like hidden to avoid public disclosure. They were sent directly because there was no on-scene deputy coming to the scene. We had the evidence directly delivered to the detective, so there was no real incident report that was generated because there was no incident because no deputy arrived. So that's when we didn't do a workaround of public disclosure laws. We simply turned in the evidence directly to the ICAC division in local counties, and it didn't generate a police report. But there's also a anonymous tip line that I could have used too. I didn't use the anonymous tip line, but you could have utilized the anonymous tip line.
Wow. And I'm a blowhard.
I saw a real life naked woman one time.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. Again, Telly, I told you. See, this is when you say something and then it's like hilarious lack of follow-up. Evidence was turned in. The fact that you don't believe it or don't want to believe it is hilarious to you that I'm talking about it. Telly, you're in there sucking Tommy's dick, and he's got 150 cases that he hasn't turned in or didn't cooperate with. So you can sit there and talk about how it's hilarious for me to talk about it when you're over in someone else's chat that doesn't do it at all or doesn't do it to any extent that would bring a case to be able to be prosecuted. So, I mean, you all can say it's hilarious. I've already said the evidence was turned in. You can choose not to believe me. I don't give a flying fuck. I owed it, as Toe does, to the decoys that were involved on the cases. That's all I owed it to, was the decoys.
Right.
Well, oh, I made a noise for the first
I didn't know if
12 minutes, and I'm interrupted. I made a noise.
Well, I mean, Telly, have you ever gone on Colorado Pathologic Patrol? Have you ever deigned to go on that site?
I got Telly blocked, so I can't see what he's saying either. I've had him blocked for a while. Fucking.
Well, Mr. Magoo, tell me how the facts aren't correct. There's 50 to 70 cases. There's 150 actually videos of each cases of evidence not being turned in. So there's 150 different videos of the detectives saying in a police report that the evidence hasn't believed. I believe the police reports, Telly. I believe the police reports.
I believe I can fly.
There's Meow. I didn't know Meow was here. Gandhi Sam. Maybe I should stick with Gandhi Sam as a it has been turned in. No,
hey Sam, I heard that you bought Meow a Louis XV roll-up desk for $28,000 when you throw me $20 to eat a dog.
It was whittled together with Fireball.
Mm-hmm.
It was whittled together with Fireball.
Look, now the marshallist agrees that Telly is garbage. He I always like listened to him and all that and thought like he's just a little contrarian or something. But he lied tonight. He lied in front of all your eyes. So that's all there is to that. Scum. Once you reveal yourself to be a liar, and they go, "I never said that," and you said it 2 minutes ago, you're a liar. Sam has a very small penis. Try and keep it light. Interrupting everything.
See, there is a little bit more information gained from the Florida trip that we didn't need to know.
Oh, there's plenty more, or sometimes less. Mm-hmm. I felt like Manson when I said that.
Is Alex on a live catch?
No, I believe so. Yeah, they've been dropping it in the chat.
they've been saying that that Alex and Caps are on a live catch, which is a joke, obviously.
Yeah, Alex shot Caps down big time. I heard.
I wish I could see that. I could
Yeah.
imagine his deflation, like, oh God. And apparently Alex said something like, why would I collab with you? You're just a clout chasing son of a bitch, or I don't know, something. And you know what I mean? That he called him out exactly like he is, a big clout chaser and non-catcher, and yeah, he did 3 years, but and please God, don't make that mean like I count catches, but he gave it up long ago, so he's not a catcher, and that's what Alex was saying, as in you're not a catcher, you're a drama channel, and all that. I wish I could see it and know. Oh, I guess maybe there is an Alex sketch. Yeah, there's a link to it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I've been watching it since I saw it on.
All right, man.
I'm gonna probably take off and think, but I just wanted to 97 to 99% of things that people say is wrong or false or misleading, and they do it on purpose to try to troll. And the more and more I see how people troll here, it's sad to say the more I understand what Tommy has dealt with. And I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying that I don't like I like him. I'm not saying I have anything to apologize for him about, but the fact of the matter is that I see a lot of things that he has claimed has happened to him happening around me, essentially. So
Sam, were you in marching band in high school?
I
was as surprising as this my thing. I was an athlete in high school.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, that's weird because he was already in the house when we pulled up.
What, did you ask me that question, Bill, or did a troll ask that?
He came out in a.
I asked. That came from me.
Bill, you're a.
I think it's me.
You was. What? That actually offends me, Bill.
That the complete interruption, even though I just inject like forces.
I was a very good soccer player, actually, and I was not in the marching band, but I'm fucking Bill thinks. I mean, did you ask me was I in the marching band because you think my personality is such that I would have been in the marching band?
I have a feeling that you were one of those guys that you probably still went to band camp even though you weren't in the band, but I just had a feeling that you were one of these guys that would go to band camp and see band camp is have you ever seen oh God, what's the name of that movie? American Pie or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that you were, like that.
Well, he did march
at band camp.
He did march around the neighborhood with one of those leading sticks and going 76 trombones and all that. It was sick.
All right, JT. Bill, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep that you thought I was in band, and
I'm sorry.
Like that, there's nothing wrong with that, but I was actually a very popular athlete in high school, despite what you might think, Bill. So with that, and a master champion debater, as I took down Ryan in several debates over the last couple months.
I'm going to call you up.
I could tell you were a masturbator. Debater.
Sam, I'm going to call you in a minute and chew you out for all of your stupidity during this chat.
All right. Good night. I'm going to go watch Alex. See you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm off here.
All right, man. Oh, shit. Well, this took... I was just trying to have a lighthearted bullshit chat earlier, and...
Yeah,
oh, well.
Son of a bitch. And you're like, JT, stop. And it's like I only interrupted when it had to be stopped, as in don't let him go.
I was only saying stop because you were putting your finger up my butt. That's what I was talking about.
Well, no, you don't lie like Telly. As in, I was trying to stop a mistake, and then other than that, it's 12 solid minutes before I go. And then they want to paint me as the blowhard. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Blow hard.
And also that I'm on
Oh,
panel every night and drunk every night on panels. Oh, the liar. I'm starting to believe Redhead and Ryan. I am scum. I'm always.
yes.
Oh yeah, it must be true.
Yeah, but you're like you're like the high class kind of scum though. Like you're not that scum that's all the way at you're that fine layer of film on top of the scum.
It's almost 11, so there's not really anywhere else I could go. So I'm going to stumble down to the 7-Eleven and hope that they have lipstick. I've never seen it, but I wouldn't be looking for it. But I'm going to buy some, and I'm going to write scum all over my head, and then I'm going to pull my dick out and walk all around the neighborhood till life changes.
I like it. That's a good plan. You should go with it.
Life will change by doing that. It will change. It will.
Well, yeah, it definitely will. Um,
And if,
you'll get a change of scenery, a change of your bed, a change of the people. Yeah, it'll change.
yeah, and I'll have like a 25-year-old cellmate, and he's only in for the. And I'll be like, well, I missed out on the, raping and what. I almost wanted to not say that, but all that in my other times, my long times. But I'm gonna get it in now.
I'm sure you can find somebody to hold your pocket without going to jail.
No, I think it'd be easier there. That I'm gonna go. Yeah,
All right, man.
my
All right, thanks for coming on.
my scum with the dick out. It would be better at noon, but I'm sure it won't take that long. Oh yeah, I could walk down a big major street. Oh, that's right. There's a big intersection. I'll walk over there with my dick out, and then life will be a whole new interesting thing, a whole new world. I don't know the rest of that song.
Well,
I think it's
alrighty then. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. All right, y'all. Do we have any other business of order to take care of tonight?
Did we ever establish is Jay Silly good looking or not? I can't remember. I feel like I saw him once and he was, but I can't remember.
No, he's not particularly attractive, but if you had a couple of beers, he might be doable.
Why does nobody ever dox people like that?
Well,
Are we going to meet here when Cher dies?
yes, absolutely. We will all shed a collective tear when Cher goes.
Don't you see the wisdom in saying something off the wall sometimes?
And we will play that.
Well, then they say
We will play that scene in Silkwood repeatedly, where she flashes her tit. We'll just play that repeatedly, and that'll be our memorial to Cher.
I wasn't a giant thing about Cher like most of the homos, but remember that one? I think it was called was it Powder, or anyway, she was the mother of a young teen kid or something, and they lived in the parents' house. The parents took the kid out like to the baseball game or something, and they came. Oh yeah, it was definitely a baseball game, and when they came back, the elderly father, throws her the baseball that he got caught there, and she reaches up and catches it, and everybody knows like she's back on the heroin. Like just to look at her face.
Mm.
It was a big poignant moment. It was a big film. I forget what it was.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Taking down Ryan ain't exactly an achievement, just says meow. Why is that? Is that what you're working on now? Would you like to look through, like, if Meow had like a big filing cabinet, like, just start rifling through?
I like rifling through strangers' filing cabinets. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too. Like when I was urban exploring, just all the shit you can find. It's unbelievable. I really missed that, but Denver's too big of a boom town. If they abandon something big, it's knocked down or turned into condos or something the next day. I like the crumbling East Coast where you could just go to old factories and be the only one in there, like 7 floors.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you'd hear somebody out. You don't get somebody
We
else.
we used to go to Gary, Indiana. Man, Gary's a fucking war zone.
Oh
But
yeah,
we
famous.
did a little urban because they got huge fucking like old steel plants that are shut down that still have a lot of the machinery in them and stuff. We used to go in there and play paintball and
Yeah,
like I always had a real gun on me. But a couple of times, man, these homeless people would just fucking like come at you with knives and run at you with shopping carts and shit. I mean, it's their home, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I always just left, because they fucking live there. But yeah, I like
Is
going around that shit.
on the urban exploration boards, Urbex. Gary is infamous right behind Detroit with just endless. There's like abandoned skyscrapers in Detroit.
Yeah, yeah. For a while, I was on a streak when I was hunting fugitives that it seemed like every one of them ran to fucking Gary, and I was having to go in there. Um, this one in particular, I went to check in with the police department. Depending on where you're at, you should check in with the police department so that if something happens, they know who you are and why you're there. Because when you show up, if there's not a black guy around, they're going to shoot the long-haired guy first, and I got long hair, right? So I check in, and they come out. They're like, "What? You're going to die up there, white boy. You're going to fucking die." I'm like, "Well, that's why I'm here. I'm asking, can you guys give me a little help?" And he says, "You got a vest?" I said, "Yeah." And I pulled my shirt up, showed him I was wearing a vest. He's like, "Where are your outers?" I'm like, "I don't have fucking." He's like, "You need fucking outers. You need two vests up here. They got AKs." All right, so they gave me an outside vest to put on. And so we go to this place. The plan was for the cops to go to the front door, and me and a couple other cops to go up to the back. But there was a fence. We had to hop this fence, and there were these little black kids down there, like skipping rope and stuff like that. Little like 3, 4 year olds. And this one little 4 year old looks up at me and goes, "You going to die, white boy?" And I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to meet your fucking dad. Yeah, so it was fucking nasty.
So Anthony Cruz is trying to lure me away by saying Alex's bread has no shirt. But that doesn't mean that he isn't like 80 years old with a giant pot belly. Wow, Rod Plum, my
I don't
God.
know, we're roboting.
Driving that in is like, it's metaphorical.
What's up? I love this shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, we've gone down from the peak of something like 55, I guess. Mm.
Well, okay, Rod Plum, I understand what you're saying, but they do live there, whether it's legally their home or not, right? And I'm in there just playing paintball and stuff. I mean, should I have just? I mean, I probably would have been within my legal rights to have shot them, but is that really what I should have done, or just leave because I'm kind of
Yeah,
the intruder there.
because you're just
I don't.
there.
I'm not supposed to be there
They
either.
it may not be there. They don't own it, but they live there. And
Right.
when you find a situation like that, leave them to it. You know what I mean? They have
Yeah. It wasn't
so little. They need their space to feel safe, and they don't need you walking around. You know?
right. Neither one of us belonged there, and I kind of feel like they had more of a right. I mean, not legally, but you know what I mean. I just didn't think that the conflict was necessary when all they had to do was leave, you know?
Anyone should know what you meant. Mm-hmm.
They keep finding, there's, the last thing I read, they think that there are probably 4 serial killers active right now in Gary because they keep finding bodies that are, they didn't elaborate, but they keep finding bodies in all these abandoned buildings that are like dismembered in a certain way. Um, and with that mass area and very few cops, they just can't ever catch anybody actually doing anything. So the last thing I saw was they think that there are 4 serial killers just getting away with shit in Gary.
I don't know how a serial killer gets away with it anymore compared to, like, say, the 70s or something. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. So you could park 5 blocks away and then go to your dark, horrible place where you kill somebody. But they're still going to see you. They might lose you. Here he is, there he is. And then off in the car. And then when you drive, one light after another, it's getting you. I don't, this is a terrible
Mm-hmm.
time to be a serial killer. I'm telling you.
Right, yeah, and DNA has, I mean, they're solving 50-year-old cases now because they have old DNA evidence. That's how they caught that guy in California. What was his name? Oh man, it was just a couple of years ago. I can't remember his name now. The Golden State Killer or something. I don't remember what they call him now, but this
Yeah.
dude got away with it. He had been a cop and he got away with shit for a long fucking time, and they finally caught him because a relative of his had submitted their DNA to one of them bullshit databases where they tell you your ancestry, and
Yeah.
that's how they caught him, was from a relative's DNA.
Yeah. So the police are plugged into all of those ancestry.com things. And all it takes is your distant third cousin just instantly join it. And suddenly they know it's that family and they get you.
Yep.
And that's what I'm afraid of. The knock is going to come on the door any day now.
Yeah, I'm worried about not DNA, but like there's shit that I got away with back in the like early '90s,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm not worried about DNA evidence exactly, but what I'm worried about. Oh man, I got to be careful what I say. Like they have lidar now from outer space. They can like see through these thick ass jungles and see where there used to be ancient civilizations that they didn't know about before. You know what I mean? And let's say that somebody has buried somebody somewhere and they buried them deep with a backhoe. I mean, are they going to start finding that shit now? I'm not saying that I had anything to do with that. I'm just saying I need to shut the fuck up. But
Yeah. We need a 12-minute Sam speech and then act like I'm horrible for trying to stop it and move it to something else. God get you all. Mm-hmm. We couldn't hear about the U2 concert. Fuck no. It had to be right back to. And then what I was saying was, oh, he should be killed. I should have killed him. Should have killed him. Mm-hmm. But he had the credit cards. What are you going to do? And he paid for every one of those drinks at the gay bar without even being there because someone had his credit card.
he just gave you his credit card. Wow.
Not me. No.
Well, I mean, somebody just gave. Well, I wouldn't do that.
But weirdly, I heard that it was only like $60 between the two of us, and we had quite a few. So I was like, "Wow!" It was the only time we ever went to a bar the whole time, despite what liars might tell you. And I think like and I guess that might be the tip too. I don't know, but that seems really cheap for as long as we drank there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I was drinking margaritas, which are usually more expensive. Either it's the greatest. That was like a Sunday, though, wasn't it? It was like a Sunday tea dance, as they call it in the gay bars or something. It was so weird.
Yeah, Ray probably flirted with the bartender.
I don't even want to tell that story again, but it was so interesting when we first got in there before things happened. But you know what I mean? Like all these, everybody was 60 or over, and they're all singing like "Love Shack, Love Shack," with all these.
Oh, I actually like that song, man.
It was hilarious. They're all like dancing away their, you know, dotage, and it was fun and relaxing and not sexy. You know what I mean? It was just very
Right.
groups of like five guys that, you know, they're gay and they're just friends. They have each other over for dinner, and they meet here at noon every Sunday or whatever it was. It was very relaxing. It was a very good atmosphere. Mhm.
Well, no homo, JT, but you're my favorite homo.
I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I haven't practiced in a long, long time, but you know, it's just like a priest putting the collar back on or riding a bicycle, especially you know, nude priest with just a collar on a bicycle at the playground, of course. And
Well, you know how it is, man. Sex over 50 is like shooting pool with a rope anyway.
oh, oh yeah, that's what I was getting to. I forgot where I was going. As in, like I would probably be like a little, you know, like trembly, and then I would get it done with a vengeance. I tell you. Wow, it's been so long. Yeah, but there's so many fun.
Man, I don't know if the chat went really quiet or if my phone's stuck again.
Hmm. Well, Rob Plum seems to keep arguing the same thing, which is just a misunderstanding.
Yeah. People probably fell asleep with their YouTube going.
Why doesn't anybody come up here and enjoy the splendor of being on panels all night, oh, every night?
Well, I mean, there have been people that try to join sometimes, but I don't fucking want them up here.
Well,
And then also, people have been threatened that if they go on my panel, they're going to get doxxed or whatever. So there are
oh,
people that are
well,
afraid to,
saw me be threatened
be,
on the panel. It was unbelievable.
because FM likes to threaten people because he thinks that they're people that they aren't.
Well, apparently Locke has 20 people. You have 48, and everybody else is watching old Gilligan's Island episodes.
Hmm.
His community's wrecked and ruined. I only do this now. You know, you were on for a while before I joined, but now it does seem like forever. And I only do it because it's just a way of like having drinks with people and shit once in a while. You know, hopefully more than once a week. It did get to be every 3 days or 4 days during high drama. But generally, I've always said it. It's like I go up once every 7, 8, 9 days, and then they all paint me as the giant panel hog whore. Even though,
Yeah.
even though in all those 7, 8 days, they are on one panel after another, after another, after another, all day, all night, oh, every night. There's Bill trolling for. Oh, Sam is in the basement.
No, he's not.
I thought he's gonna
I mean,
come.
he's like, he might be in my actual basement, but he's not. Nobody's in the basement right now.
I thought he was gonna come bitch me out.
All right, people. Last call. If anybody who does want to come up, I'll probably shut this down pretty soon. If not,
Oh,
that's the thing, man. Like panels were literally going for like 24 hours a day there for a while.
I know when these people would be on one after the other, and then when I would have it one night for a long time, I admit, but one night, and they would act like it was just like, oh God, him again, and yeah, but it's like if you click the stopwatch, it's like you did 38 hours this week, and I did that overnight, you know. Mm,
Hmm.
mm. Anyway, for lastest words ish, I would say that Sam isn't the scumbag that people for some reason want to portray him as. You know, he's a very personable person. You know,
The dragging lost steam. Yeah, I knew that it would. I called that already. Yeah, it will. People will get sick of it. They already are.
the dragging where? Oh, and Scamula.
No, I think they're talking more about caps, but yeah,
Oh, his caps on
that's
too.
the thing. If they get no, well, I don't know. I don't have notifications on for
That's
him.
what I'm talking about.
Um,
God damn you! The drag.
God damn you! I'm trying to make a fucking point.
Mm. Don't you
Yeah, I
dare.
mean, if they get everybody canceled out that they're trying to cancel out, who are they going to go after next? Because it'll have to be somebody. Because all they knew how to do was drag. That's all they've got.
You
I mean, they've already started turning on each other.
guys
That's
know
something else that's fucked
well.
up. Is like there's one that's up on their panels regularly. That's kind of like my inside person, and like the amount of shit that they talk behind each other's backs, and then go up on panels and are like, oh, it's fucking weird, man. I can't go for it.
So Rod Plum is now advertising for Trump in here. Yes, the decent, wonderful man known as Trump, the non-grifting, non-lying man that we all uh, just bow down to, just like other people too. Somebody can.
Yeah, we don't vote based on who's the best candidate. We vote for on who's the least shitty. You know what I mean? All fucking politicians are fucked up liars. You
No, we vote for most.
know.
We vote for most shitty. Oh dear God, is Rod Plum like drunk tonight, or is he always like this? I don't remember him being like this.
Oh yeah, no, he gets on rolls like this. It's not uncommon.
I honestly don't like. How can anybody like Trump after all this time? Like, there's been so many years to see the one lie after another, and the treason, and inviting all those people to the mall and having them storm the Capitol. Uh, he he's a bigger treasonous person than Benedict Arnold.
Well, I mean, he's been arrested, so I don't know how that'll work. Is the Secret Service gonna like stay in the cell with him all the time? Because once you've been president, you get Secret Service protection for the rest of your life.
That isn't out yet, but there was a lot of speculation when he first got arrested. And it stands to reason that they're actually going to have, he's going to end up so fucking lonely in the darkest corner of a prison with a fucking Secret Service guy sitting on a wooden chair staring at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he can't walk around with other people. It's unthinkable. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
The same accommodation afforded to like Richard Ramirez. He can't walk around with his fame. He
Yeah.
can't walk around, even if it was just from his TV show and he never became president. You still can't have a guy like that walking around because somebody always has
Well, you see what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer? They killed his ass.
mop ringer. Well, I guess Dahmer was like taking meat from the kitchen and making it look all bloody and like putting it around the tier so like people walk down the tier and it's like, look at this bloody piece of meat. Like, he thought it was funny. It was cannibalism and all that. I gotta admit, if you're gonna have to do time, it would have been interesting to be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I get the weird
I
feeling
got
Dahmer and I would have been friends.
probably. I, yeah.
Except for he also struck me always like a driven robot type person that probably couldn't be that much fun. But the throwing the meat around, actually makes it like he did have a weird, twisted sense of humor.
I don't know if you'd call it a sense of humor exactly. I mean, he did literally make zombies. So I don't think he was doing that shit. I don't think he was playing with his food to be funny. I think he was just trying to relive what he'd done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the police would hand his zombie, a 13-year-old zombie, right back to him. Like they just don't want to deal
Yeah,
with a gay mess out in the alley. It's like take him home.
yeah,
And the kid is like he's. They just look at the kid as well. He's so Vietnamese they can't tell he's 13, and also that he's just like all fucked up. So just take him home and get out of here. And
yeah,
the kid, the reason he's fucked up is because he's had his head drilled open and stuff from inside pills put in there.
yeah.
Oh, Dahmer. Holy crap, Rob Plum is just, you know, I think he's rubbing his dick with a piece of, what do you call that? Sandpaper.
Raw liver. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But no, that's later. After you rub all your skin off, then you use the liver. He's going out of his mind.
He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Show me the receipts on Trump's storming the Capitol. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to walk to the Capitol. Come with me. And then he didn't, but he made it. Oh, whatever. We all lived through it, so whatever. Believe your lies, Rod.
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually did say to storm the Capitol, but insurrection. He claimed insurrection. So what are you supposed to do during an insurrection? You know what I mean? So he kind of alluded to it, but
He certainly did. And he brought 100,000 people to the Capitol that day. And
see
he,
that's the thing. This country was founded on violence. You know, I mean that's how we got our independence. But the thing is, there's a fine. What we consider a patriot, they're going to say you're a terrorist. And since they make the rules, you really don't stand much of a chance now. You know.
yeah, and he's like, show me receipts of Trump saying that. Or not. I didn't say exactly that he said, let's storm the Capitol, I don't think. But what are the percentages that Trump didn't have something to do with it? You know, you'd have to be a moron to think like, oh, it was a big surprise. I was just making a speech. Then they all marched to the Capitol and insurrected, and I didn't do a damn thing when the capital of the country was being attacked for 4 hours. Yeah, Trump's not guilty. Fuck no. It's CNN. Yeah, you freaks. Yeah, yeah. I'd rather be.
Oh, all right, y'all.
Well,
I think all my sweethearts fell asleep or found something much better to watch.
yeah, it's time to go back into the headphones and listen to music. Oh, but first I want to call Sam and chew him out for, I can't remember what, but whatever he said. And then also, I've learned that I do not want to rubber band my cock to Rod Plum's cock and roll down a hill. No, I don't want to. Don't want to.
Oh man, I've got like a shitload of messages I got to answer to. So,
Yeah, there's a good
all
hope.
right, y'all. If you messaged me during this latest shit show, I will answer you back as soon as I get off of here.
All right, bye bye.
All right. See you later. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, JT really is my favorite homo. Yeah, Joe Biden does completely suck. There's no question about that. I don't think even the people that voted for him are like, "What the fuck, man?" And And then he's like, "Oh yeah, our economy is better than it's ever been." What the fuck? Have you not looked at the numbers, dude? Yeah. Have you not seen the gas prices? And that's another thing about the border is like most of the country is insulated from all that, so they don't see it. But the people that live down there that are getting killed and having their shit taken, being sexually assaulted, all that kind of stuff, it's real. And yeah, I mean, not all of the news programs are full of shit most of the time, but CNN and like MSN, they're really bad. I really don't watch mainstream news. I get all my news by remote viewing and seeing things in person. Well, not really in person, but you know. All right, yo. Thanks for showing up. Um, somebody doesn't mind locking the back door and turning the sign around for me, I'd appreciate it. All right. Y'all stay naked.